But first, let's appreciate everyone for coming here tonight.
Thank you guys so much for coming. Honestly, this is a great experience.
Whoa, and wait a minute. This is our first meetup ever.
Yeah,
Ben and I thought 4 people were gonna come. We had no idea New York, the greater, I think someone's from California here?
Really?
Yeah, there's someone, there she is, Tanya. We really want to thank everyone so much for coming. You make us feel more special than we can even communicate. Like, this is huge. When Ben and I first started Edge of Wonder, we really didn't know what was gonna happen. We looked down over an abyss, which was the mainstream media. And we kind of were like, we don't know, but let's start trying to tell the truth and let's see what happens.
Yeah, actually, the first 100 subscribers were all my friends from Facebook. So it's like,
I had a couple.
but that was pretty, we were like, okay, it took us a month to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so we got 140 subscribers, and then magically we were down to 70 the next day, and
That's right.
It was the craziest thing. And then it took us forever to get to 100, and then 1,000 was like rubbing sandpaper against my head. It was really hard.
Yeah. And actually, one of the stories I was telling somebody earlier, because they were asking about this, like, really, how did you guys build this channel up so fast? I mean, realistically, we just...
You guys.
Yeah, it was you guys. We just responded to all the comments.
We would go to bed sometimes at like 1 or 2, wake up at 4, keep answering comments, and then the community just kept growing.
I was even answering comments in my dreams. That's how much I was answering comments. Unintentionally, what happened was people started sharing our content. And really, but what really took off was when we published the QAnon video.
Yeah,
honestly,
that was huge. The QAnon videos were huge. Literally, our lives are almost 24/7 behind a computer in an office, researching, and then turning around to one another and be like, dude, I just found this. That's it. What we'd really love to do, aside from appreciating you guys and thanking you guys for coming out, is take an opportunity to answer any kinds of burning questions you have, either about the community or crazy stuff that's going on, and maybe we can kind of address some of that, and you can have some, one-on-one time with us. What do you guys think about that? Yeah? Okay.
So what made you guys really want to just jump in and start a channel and start doing what you're doing?
Good question. For myself, this is just a calling I feel like I had almost my whole life. I just wasn't sure what avenue it was going to take. It's magic how fast and how much this just came together. Even in 2014, we had this idea, and then BuzzFeed around that time came out with their,
Their horrible version of Edge of Wonder.
But at the time, we knew we couldn't match that level of production, but we were thinking, well, this would be great to do something similar.
Right.
Yeah,
and then again in 2018, it kind of came up. This idea kept getting pushed back and forth, and then Ben was like, I'll do it. And then I was like, I'm good. No.
But then after I did the first video, I was like, Rob, we got to do this together.
We talked about it, and we were like, look, what no one else has out there is like basically banter, going back and forth, talking these things through, and also like and being very serious about it, and also like it's much easier when you have another person. Like every day I'm thankful for Ben, because it's like doing it alone is like
same thing here. It's serious. Yeah, 'cause
he's really like, he's literally the closest person in my life. We're like brothers. It's like,
seriously,
not even kidding. Having someone else to talk to check what you're doing when you're researching someone or something or someone, and then to add in stuff that you've missed is like, this is something other channels don't have, and it's been critical to everything that we're doing, because it's not a one-person job. And I mean, it's not just us either. I mean, there's some other folks working on this. We had been, by working in the media company that we were in, we had saw what the mainstream media was doing, what it was doing to society, how every single mainstream media outlet out there seemed to have some wonky agenda and wasn't really telling us the facts, right? And they wouldn't go near topics that are extremely important to go near. I mean, how do we actually determine what the history is and what's going on? Like, what's actually happening in politics and why? Why are they lying about everything? Like, these were questions we had.
Well, it's not even that. It goes in the sense of like they weren't even asking the questions. We're just looking for the truth, and that's what we wanted to present people with, the truth. We're like, this is what we feel as the truth, or at least exploring this avenue of the truth, and we were just so passionate about it that we just wanted to bring this to people and give people hope.
And also, thank you, yes. And also correct things that are going wrong in mainstream journalism, where when they say something, they talk about it like it's the absolute truth and this is the only truth and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, everybody's smart. No one needs that. Here's what we found. Let's present it to you guys. If you find something different, tell us. If we're wrong, sorry. But like, can we at least have this dialogue and at least talk about this stuff, right? By the way, we're never wrong. Ask your question.
It's really more of a comment.
Okay.
I'm curious if you guys have ever heard of natural law. Mark Passio does a lot of stuff on it, and basically the underpinnings of it are that things like evil things have to be done in plain sight.
Yes.
In order for us to accept them.
That's exactly
and so, like, when you were talking about the show Perfume, that sounds like exactly what they're doing, is that they're putting it in plain sight, because if we accept it, then that means we're okay with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so
that's a really good point.
if you read Bloodlines of the Illuminati, I'm not sure how many of you have, the way that they do it is they put it all out there so that we have to consume it and understand that it's happening, or at least part of us, even if it subconsciously has to know that it's happening in order for them to do it. This is why the Georgia Guidestones are there. Everyone always wonders, why are the Georgia Guidestones there? It's because they want to put up that this is happening and that it's out there and it's public. Everybody's seen it, or at least a good portion of people have seen it, so that they can kind of achieve these things. I mean, Denver International Airport, all of those wonky things in Denver International Airport.
Yeah.
It's all there. And Netflix, Hollywood, what Hollywood does, mainstream media, I mean, it's all pushing this stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that we believe that there's this, like, kind of this mutual thing where anything that's negative, you're going to see an opposite side of the positive side, and when something really positive comes out, you're going to see something negative as well.
My YouTube handle is Love, Truth, Wisdom, Faith. Yeah, okay. So thank you for the research. The communism series was just so educational. I'm going to share it with my friends and family. I think it's a good way to get people kind of warmed up to the idea of like investigating truth. But I was wondering if you could maybe give us some suggestions. I think you've done this in the past, but maybe as a refresher, maybe what good videos are good as an introduction for people that maybe are a little bit more left-brained and need to kind of open their heart or mind a little bit to thinking for themselves. Yeah, your videos. Or anything, information, or even if you have like sound bites or a way to kind of help people warm up to the idea of starting to think for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think our Titanic one is really good for beginners. The moon one that we did.
First moon one.
Yeah, the first one. It's just data and
quotes from different
facts
scientists that make you,
sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, the first moon video is just data and facts and quotes from scientists that just make you question what the heck that thing is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then our water ones, especially the water memory one, is pretty good.
Missing kids. Yeah.
The missing kids one, that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we should have the Mandela ones. Yeah.
And wait, just to freak them out, make sure you make them watch the Voice of God one. Because that all came from a CIA dropped document, and it's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
We should make a list, because we get that question a lot. We should just eventually make a list and just post it somewhere.
Yeah,
James Scott.
James Scott interviews, those two James Scott interviews. One of the things that we're doing on edgeofwonder.tv is Ben and I are putting our personal channels on there. And the first episode of mine's all about my red pill process, and then a dialogue about how to red pill your friends and family, because this has been a huge thing in my life that I've had to deal with. And I know you and I both have gotten so many questions about people, like how to handle red pilling their families. And I kind of go through and talk a lot about these issues, like what videos are good to kind of maybe introduced to friends and family, and then also, aside from that, how to actually engage in a dialogue with those friends and family members without coming off crazy, and almost having them ask you the questions because you've sort of piqued their interest, right? So you can watch, that might help a little bit. I mean, I hope it does. And then I left it in a place where if you have more questions, ask them, and we'll try to actually have another video and we can talk about those things.
First of all, I'll be another person to say thank you very much for doing this. So, have you ever heard of the book Power versus Force?
I have heard of it.
You have? I have. I think it's fantastic, and it's one of those eye-opening things that you can share how your conscious can change how you do things, and it could be a cool tool, whether it be Redpilling or bringing people awareness to try to enhance themselves. And I thought maybe you would like to look into it.
Yeah, sure.
I've heard of it. So yeah, for sure. If people start thinking more positively and that shifting to that direction where we are reaching for that, because this is the whole thing. They want to destroy. It doesn't matter what you believe in, what like religion you believe in. Even if a handful of people start thinking this way, wanting this change to happen, we can bring this change with us. And I think this is this whole power of this thinking, where it's like if we have a large group of people that are very hopeful and become hopeful and move into this direction, we can actually shift the rest of humanity to this direction.
Someone asked a question before that I'd actually like to answer, which was about how long have humans been around, right? Basically what we're finding is millions of years, not 36,000, not 400,000. We're talking about millions of years that humans have been here. This is not our first rodeo. Actually, no one knows what's in that Vatican library. There are books that are apparently 10 feet tall in that library. Who was reading those books? Because I'm kind of a midget.
Well, compared to that,
Yeah, no, but I mean, really. So okay, then that opens us up. So maybe giants existed. What were the giants doing here? Why is there evidence of little people?
Well, I mean, if you look at even all these cultures, they talk about giants. I mean, in every single culture in the past, they all had names for these things. And
not just the Anunnaki
Right.
or Anunnaki guys. Like there's actually like evidence of actual giants, like human giants, like not all kinds. Some of them had 6 fingers. Some of them were had one eye or something like that. I mean, there's just a lot of these.
Cyclops thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of different evidences of these things, and they go back way further. I mean,
like the centaur. There's even some evidence that centaur was an actual real living being. Yeah. Bigfoot's the perfect example, right? I mean, every single culture has a word for Bigfoot. Like, what if it doesn't exist? Then why does every single language have a word for Bigfoot? It's just really interesting.
So I think every single language should have a word for your hat.
Maybe. All right. It kind of brought me closer to our fans, because at this time, like I said, we're just behind a computer all day long. We have no idea what's going on. So it really made us a lot more driven to do this, and some of the stuff is so dark, what we're finding. I thought I was going to get a little bit more depressed through this, but it's the opposite. It's like, wow, I feel so free. Like, all this stuff's been lifted off me, and we're helping so many people now, and it happens so fast. It's just, it still hasn't really hit us. Like I said, this is really the first time that we're kind of meeting fans.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing is, maybe a lot of people don't know this, but we've been waiting to expose communism for a really, really long time. Like, when I say long time, I'm telling you, like, 20 years.
Back then,
Like, the stuff that, the episode that we did on China that you guys saw, Ben and I have been eating, sleeping this for over 20 years, and we've been very active in trying to expose this and building this platform. It was very strategical that we wanted to have enough people that were subscribing to us that had come to know us so that we could actually tell them what was going on with communism, because we've seen how destructive it's been for people. Whenever I find out the dark stuff, I don't feel Yes, it's horrible, and sometimes tears, happen.
Well, with the China one especially.
Of
Both
course.
Oh my gosh, we were both like,
how can you
get through this episode?
We're humans, right? How can we not react like a normal human would? But the point is that we're using that, and we're going to exposing it is the best way to actually undo what they've done, is to get the truth out there so that we can all change, and then the world can change. And if we can do that, then we're doing right by the information that we're finding, and we're helping everyone. And that's just what I think we try to stay focused on a daily basis. Yeah, so the energy must be high.
Yeah, exactly. Take the edge off. Oh,
Yeah, she said take the edge off.
we have to use that for something in the future. But
Take the edge off with Edge of Wonder. That's my next t-shirt. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, but it's critical that the positivity the fact that we're all sitting here right now and we've lived through what's actually going on our planet is telling. Like, we deserve to have some positivity about this and who we are, and also help others obtain that too. And I'll tell you, one thing that I've noticed is our community on YouTube is literally the most positive community on YouTube I've ever seen.
Well, and that's the feedback we're getting. It's not just us saying that. It's like everybody who's also part of other channels is saying, you guys.
All of us doing it together.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
Well, and that's the other thing. We were looking at these channels and we're like, man, everyone's like such fearmongers and just focusing on this, like, the shock aspect because they want viewers, they want all this stuff,
fame or something.
Yeah, and we were just like, we want to leave every episode with a sense of hope in people, and that was also the other thing. We want to be, and it's hard sometimes, like especially the communism one. That was the darkest episode that we did, and sometimes we just have to say really what's going on. But in the end of it, it's still, we're still trying to have this aspect of bringing hope back to the people, because this is the most important thing. You lose hope and it's like everything goes down.
Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up now. Did everybody have a good time? Listen, honestly, like,
we could talk for all night, honestly.
Well, but we really can't appreciate you guys enough for coming out. It means so much to us. You don't know how much it means to us, really. Like, seeing you guys here is like, it's amazing. If I wasn't around,
it makes it real. We're behind a computer all day long.
It makes it real. And if there weren't so many guys in the room, I might have a tear right now. But I kind of want to look tough. But no, seriously, it's really moving for us, and we love you guys so much. You don't even know.